everyone, welcome to another episode of Apologetically Me. I'm Maggie.
I'm Wanda.
And we're here with part 2 of moving in with our partners. Have we had to compromise? What is it like living with our partners? But before we get started, Wanda, tell the people what you got going on.
So I don't have COVID, but I did catch a flu or like not a flu, but a cold over the weekend. And that sucks because I kind of had a sore throat on Sunday and a little bit on Monday, but I've just been having like sinuses. Like, you know that feeling when you get up and your sinuses like move with you? Like you get up and your sinuses like it feels like something's falling. Yeah, that's basically what I've been having for the past few days. Um and like I got a lot better on Tuesday, but then now it's just been like incrementally like slightly better by like 1 to 2% every single day, which really sucks. And also makes me not want to go out anymore because I feel like because I spent the weekend going out, I caught a cold. So if I didn't go out, if I stayed in the safety of my home, I would have been a-okay.
I feel like you didn't really have a choice. I mean, you did have a choice, but I feel like you can't just be a hermit and be like, well, if I stayed at home and did nothing, then I would have been safe.
But I would have been.
Like, yes, but you're gonna get sick no matter what. It's only a matter of time before you became another number.
Ouch. Salve.
Another.
Okay.
Well, because we were talking about like that really bad cold that like everyone was getting and you were healthy at the time. So now you've joined us. You're another number.
Clearly everyone's like dropping like flies, like not like in the term of like dying, but like
Sick.
so when I got sick there were so many people in our Slack channel at work being like, hey, like I'm sick today, or like I'm still not feeling well. And then like same with like Jordan's team and like people at his company as well, like everyone's like sick.
Ugh. Also
So
concerning because like everyone's remote and like they're all in
yeah.
BC, so it's like, hmm, your Ontario thing is going national, baby.
Yeah, so it was literally like a everywhere kind of thing, like we're all
hmm
experiencing this cold sickness all at once.
hmm
You cannot escape no matter where you are.
Misery loves company.
Yeah, truly. Which like does make me feel a little bit better. But I'm supposed to go home this weekend, so hopefully I feel a lot
Hmm.
better tomorrow.
I hope so too.
Yeah. But weekend was fun. We went to emo night on Friday. That was less fun. Um how do I explain this? How do I explain the thing that was emo night? Basically, it felt like a sweaty mess of people, and if the bands were performing live, because it was like after every song people clapped, and it's like, why did you clap? They're not performing live. Like, do you clap at a club? um and also they played each song in its entirety, so it's like if you didn't know a song or if you didn't like a song, they played the whole like 3 to 5 minutes of it. So you wasted 3 to 5 minutes of your life, instead of like when you go to like a regular club or a bar, they like remix it such that like you only hear about 30 seconds to a minute. And I like that because it's like fast. It's like if you don't like something, you're not wasting that much time on it. um and we had to like wait in line for a while to get in, so that sucked. But I did have a better time on Saturday, even though Jordan's brother got very, very drunk. So we had to leave. And it was his birthday. So we had to leave. And we did have to find costumes last minute because last minute his girlfriend was like, "Oh, we should do costumes." So it was a lot.
Well, at least you had fun. Um, emo night sounded weird.
Hmm.
But maybe it's like a young person's crowd. But
Hmm.
yeah, that sounds rough.
Yeah. Um, I do have a club or it's not really a club, but it's like a bar that's like very like good music. But it's also like a stand-up bar, so it's like kind of I don't know how do you define a bar versus a club?
I think club is like I think a bar is something you can go to drink. Wait, no. Club is more like an event you go to. Like you're going to go there exclusively. I don't know. There's like not that big of a difference. You're right. Well, it depends because a normal bar is like it could be like a sit down like pub style or like you just drink. But also some bars have like dance floors. So
Yeah.
hard to say. Hard to say.
But if you ever do come over for anything, I would like to take you there because the music was pretty good.
Hmm. What was it called?
It's called Baby Huey.
Cute.
Yeah. We've been watching, or like we used to watch a lot of The Boys, and there's like a character called Huey, little Huey. They like sometimes call him, and then like Jordan kept on referencing that basically all night because of it. Yeah.
Nice.
How was your week?
I think it was good. We had some of our friends come over. Well, Nick's friends come over for a little Halloween party where me and Nick went as Harry Potter and Cho Chang. Um, yeah, I mean, our costumes were like very subtle, I think, which was cool.
I like them.
Thank you. It was very like DIY.
They look good.
Thank you. It was our costume. It was, well, one of them was my older brother's costume from when he was a teenager, the one Nick was wearing, and then mine was a witch costume I had when I was like a child or like preteen. I don't know, when I trick or treat.
Still fit.
Still fit, yeah. It was very big at the time too when I had it as a kid, so it still fit. We just like cut it up a little bit. And yeah, that was cool. Yeah, we don't have a lot of space. Well, like space wasn't an issue, but we don't have a lot of seating in our place. And then I was sitting on the floor a little bit, and Nick was sitting like mix of the couch and then the floor. And the next day we woke up and we were like, oh my god, our backs are killing us. We were out of commission. And I tried to go to the gym, and it was rough on my back. Rough day. So yeah, so maybe we'll look into more seating. But we also don't plan on having a lot of people over. So, pros and cons. Yeah, so that was interesting. We're going to another Halloween party this week, actually.
What?
His university friend is having a Halloween party. His friend from university.
But like, it's Christmas time.
No, it's Halloween time now.
I firmly believe that you can have Halloween before Halloween, but you can't have Halloween after Halloween.
It's too late. We're going.
Yeah. When is it?
Friday. It's funny because his friend, I met his friend like once before. He was nice. And he was like, hey, Nick, what are you doing on like November 4th? And Nick was like, oh, just going to a funeral. What's up?
What? So he's going to a funeral that day too?
Yeah. He's going to a funeral in like the afternoon, and then in the evening we'll go to the party after I'm done work.
Are you going to the funeral?
I am not.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the protocol is as a girlfriend to someone, or like as an ex-girlfriend, even though it's his great uncle who died, who he was like kind of close to, but like, is the protocol for me to go?
I wouldn't.
See, that's what I said too. So like they knew he was dying, and he like kind of had people over to say their goodbyes, and I just like assumed like I shouldn't go because it's like a very intimate moment. And now the funeral's happening, and like that's where like loved ones and people who knew him can come. And like I technically knew him, but like it still feels wrong for me to go.
I think it like you just leave it up to Nick. If Nick wants you to go, you go. If Nick doesn't really care, then it's up to you.
Yeah. But also like I'm still on probation, so like I don't really like I can't go.
I'm sure that people would be like, yeah, it's a funeral. It's fine.
Yeah. That's fair. So yeah, that's all I got going on.
Oh, we'll both be back home at the same time.
Ah, cute.
Can I go to the Halloween? No, I don't.
I mean, if you want to, but you're gonna be like patient zero. Spreading your that's your costume idea, patient zero.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, his friend does own the house, so I'm very interested in seeing it.
Is it by us?
It's on the other side of town of us.
Oh, okay.
Who's your beef or crush of the week?
crush of the week is Love is Blind. We are nearing the final episode of Love is Blind, and it has been a whirlwind because in the beginning I was like, wow, the guys this season are so mature. I'm so glad how they're handling things in the pod. For example, sorry, spoilers ahead if you haven't watched it, but what are you doing with your life if you haven't watched it? But when Cole was talking to, no, what's his name? Is it Cole? Yeah. When Cole was talking to Colleen and he was like, "Oh, like, let's go deeper." And she is like, "I don't like deep. I'm more for superficial." And he was like, "Oh, but I don't want that." And they essentially just broke up. And I was like, "Wow, Cole, I'm so proud of you for knowing what you want and wanting like a deeper relationship." But then he regressed so hard. And I was like, "Cole, what are you doing?" And then same with Bartise, who Bartise was like, "Oh, I realized that I actually really like Natalie. I don't like Raven as much. I feel like that we have things in common, but it's just surface level things. But Natalie is where like I want like Natalie is the person that I actually want to be with." And he ended up choosing Natalie, but then he was like, "Oh, Raven's so hot though." So
Do you mean Nancy?
Nancy, I'm so sorry. I am so bad with names.
This is okay.
Like, it's almost like if your name is, like, not super, like, ethnic that I can't remember it. But I watched last night's episode, and I was shocked by some of the responses that people say, or one person said, I guess. Um, and there's this couple this season who I really, really like, who like Alexis and Brennan?
Alexa
Brandon?
and Brennan? Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry once again. But they've been like really strong. Like they haven't really had any issues like going forward, and she's always like, "Yeah, we're the best couple."
Like
Which
it's a
I
competition.
yeah, like it's like not a competition, but it is a competition, but it's not a competition, but we're still the best couple. Like she said something like that, and I was like, that would be me. So they were really cute. But they're hinting at the fact that he's going to say no, and I would be devastated if he says no.
I feel like it's all clout. Like I feel like to add on to that, the editing this season has been like very choppy. Um
You say that every season.
I mean it this time. Like sometimes the conversations will just like won't make any sense at all and I'll be like, "What? Did you get that?" And we'll have to rewind and listen and I'm like, "That just literally made no sense." And there's a part where like Alexa's dad, it's like a clickbait part at the end of an episode. He's like, "I won't have my daughter marrying a chump." And then we watch Brennan and Alexa's dad talk, and nowhere does he say that.
Maybe it was just cut weirdly.
Yeah, they tried to make the drama there, which is like fair for any reality TV show. But I'm like, man, choppy. This doesn't make sense.
Um, I'm just gonna put a pin in that because you're gonna come back next season and you're gonna be like, "Wow, the editing's so choppy," and I
Mm-hmm.
definitely mean it this time.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
I don't think I listen to people talk. Like the more that I think about it, maybe I just like try to get the gist of it. Like I don't actually listen to everything they say. I just take the whole conversation as a whole and I'm like, "Okay, I get it."
I think I have to focus on listening because sometimes I will be playing Candy Crush.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
listening is the crucial part. And I don't really know what they look like.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So like we were watching yesterday and I was like, "Oh, like look at her ring. It's so big." Or like, "Oh, I was like, look at her shoes. They're so high." And Jordan's like, "How do you see that?" Like all I do is focus on their face. I'm like, "Well, I read the subtitles and the subtitles are always at the bottom of the screen." And he's like, "Oh, like I just tune them out." I'm like, "You just tune out subtitles when they're on the
What?
screen? How do you do that?"
What?
Yeah. He just doesn't read them.
Interesting.
And that was like a crazy revelation to me because I'm like, as soon as there's text on the screen, I can't not read it.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
Do guys just don't hate subtitles because like they don't read very fast?
I think so. I always talk about how slow Jordan reads because I can read something 3 times before he reads it once.
Same. Like if we're watching TikToks together or like I show him something, we have to replay the video so many times for him to actually read it or I have to try to pause it.
Oh my gosh. The thing with Jordan is that he reads at the speed that he speaks. So it's
So
like,
isn't it?
do white men not know how to read fast?
I saw a TikTok meme about this too, where the girl is like, it'll be like a video of her and she'll laugh first, and then like 5 minutes later, her boyfriend will laugh. So I
That's
think
funny.
it's like maybe a boy thing.
Mm. Need a bigger sample size. Does your boyfriend read slow?
Yeah, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. But yes, I highly recommend, even though it's been a train wreck. We love train wrecks here on reality TV. So sorry I'm so bad with your names. If anyone from Love is Blind actually watches this, which I'm sure they won't. But what is your beef or crush of the week?
My beef is Bartitz from Love is Blind.
Oh, okay.
I just think he's so awful. Like, I feel like he's all talk. Like, everything he says annoys me. Like, in the beginning, he seemed promising because I'm like, wow, it seems like he's really committed to settling down. That's how they get you in. And then all of a sudden, it was just like, blah. And I wish, like, Nancy kind of called him out more. And it sucks because the women in this season are, like, very established, like, financially independent women. Like, Nancy's housing things, like, holy shit. Like, I know houses are cheap in Texas. So when she said it was like $100,000 to buy and renovate, like, her new house or something, I was like, holy shit, that's a nice house. 100,000. Should we be moving to Texas? JK, because like guns and like abortion and stuff there is not cool. But like Nancy is very like get it, girl, like queen. And from night one, when Bartiz was like, "Can I be honest with you real quick?" and just talked about how Raven was so fucking hot, her body was amazing. He's like, "But like, you're hot too." Like, but ours is different. Like, she is just someone I would usually go for. Like, how would your relationship recover after that? Same with like Cole and Zenib when he said that she was a 9 out of 10 and Colleen was 10 out of 10. If my boyfriend said that to me, we'd be over. Like, what? You're thirsting after someone else? So, oh, and also his abortion thing. Like, I know they tried to cover it up a little bit to like not make it so obvious in your face that he was pro life, but he was very obviously pro life. Like, how Nancy was very honest, like, in my career or in my field, I see children suffering from like these disabilities, and their parents are like sobbing and they wish that they could like connect with their kids, or like they wish they could be something else in a different world. And Bartiz is like, well, I'm strong enough to handle it. Like, bro, you're 25. What do you know? You're dumb. You think you're better than them? Like, what? And the fact that like he had to bring his family into it and his sister had to pull that manipulative move of crying, like what was that? And how Nancy like tried to bring up the whole like what Bartiz said about Raven and his sister like cut Nancy off. And I was like, man, this whole family's toxic as fuck. Hate it.
Yeah. I can't believe the abortion thing wasn't just like an immediate red flag, because it's like
Yeah.
fundamentally you two do not have the same like, I guess, like morals and ethics and things that you believe in, and that's okay if you're not getting married. Like I don't understand. Like, she literally was like, "Oh, he's no longer attracted to me. He's never like he's just like ignoring me basically." And then like something clicked for him, I guess, and he started being more caring again and like was like himself again. And then she's like, "Oh, everything's fine." I'm like, "But it's not fine, because fundamentally you're still two very different people and it's not going to work out in the end."
And the fact that he admitted, like, I'm just not physically attracted to you right now. And like, oh, that's it's okay to like not be sexually intimate like all the time, I guess, or when you're burnt out, but like to straight up be like, I'm not physically attractive to you, and to leave her like so upset and then bring her back in. I feel like that's just like toxic. Like that's
It's
so abusive.
Oh, do you think he like love bombed her in the beginning?
Yeah, totally. He was just like, and I like she's so put together, and he's saying, and wait, and didn't he say that his friends were also like, Nancy's like not
Yeah.
attractive?
And that's what got him to be like, so he might have thought she was attractive, but then his friends who are like really like her. And then so he was like, ooh, I'm having second thoughts now, maybe she's not that attractive. And then like that was part of the reason he said that like made him pull back. But like he kept on blaming her originally with the whole like, oh, her like ex-boyfriend is tied so much to her financials and the whole like abortion thing, like whatever, right? But then it's like that's what you find out later was that his like friends were like very like, ooh. Yeah.
I was very confused when it happened, and I was like, "Am I not understanding something? Like, it's like Nancy looks like pretty. Like she's not ugly in the slightest. Like these people are all very attractive."
Yeah. I
Which
mean,
was
even his sister was like, she's beautiful, Bartice.
yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's just because she's not some like oh when he compared her. Wait, was it Cole or Bartiz who or like some guy is married to Kim Kardashian. He's the only one who's the luckiest man alive or something.
Oh, I think that was Cole
Hmm.
because, and then he was like, oh, but you kind of look like her to Zenab. And then he was like, that's why, blah, 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 or something.
Comparing women to Kim Kardashian is kind of a red flag. Not kind of, a huge red flag. If you think that's how the ideal woman should look, you got some reflecting to do.
I I just think his 10 out of 10 is some basic white girl
Mm-hmm.
and
It's just
that
racism.
already. Yeah.
Mm. Side note, Danielle and Nick from Love is Blind season 2 are having so much drama right now.
What do you mean?
In a deleted Instagram post, Danielle posted how like Nick is trying to slander her. He did not want the divorce to go public because he wanted to go on another reality show and he felt that the divorce would like ruin his public image. So he's kind of like trying to come out and um say that she said all these negative things about her. So she's like trying to come out first and do it. Wait, let me try to see the screenshots. She deleted all of it, but TikTok got it, obviously. I need to say this because Nick is taking extreme measures to take me down, silence me, and control the narrative because he had ended to go on another reality show and blames me for initially being unable to. I have been warned by his team that this could get messy and certain things of mine will be at stake or taken if I even block him on social media. He is proactively going to outlets to make false statements, but on top of that, there have been tactics that Nick is taking to control the narrative outside of just money and email me blaming me for potentially ruining his chances on going on another show. I didn't know he was applying and contacted people to ensure it didn't ruin his chances. He's proactively trying to get media attention because he blames me for the divorce, even though I filed because I knew it was in my best interest. He said he was hoping the entire time he was hoping he'd get a director deal. So that's like pretty
Do you
weird.
think that he stayed with her because like he just wanted to get like famous off of it?
That was kind of the plot twist there.
Ooh. I mean, that would be understandable.
Or maybe like they're both upset they didn't get as much clout as they wanted to. Like they're not like the golden couple, like how Lauren and what's his name were from season 1.
Cameron.
Yeah, him.
Um yeah, but like they got like a certain amount and then it was like over. Like no one really talks about them anymore, really. Like
Yeah.
they're not doing a whole lot.
Yeah. Messy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, kind of expected for them. I never thought they were going to work out.
Me
So the
neither.
fact that they worked out as long as they did, I'm like already shocked by.
Like Danielle was very messy on the show, but Nick was not helpful at all. He was like
Yeah.
kind of enabling her and like gaslighting her, and he was just so gossipy. Like even just like to his friends or like people on the show, he's just like so two faced.
Yeah. I mean, like I like drama and I'd be like, "Oh, like tell me things," but I wouldn't be like egging people on to do bad things.
When you know your partner is in already like a pretty fragile state, you don't really
Yeah.
egg them on.
Yeah, truly. Anyways, reality TV show, always a train wreck.
Love it.
Yeah.
They're just like us.
But so much worse.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to today's topic, moving in with our partners, part 2. Um, we have both recently moved out, I guess, for the official time, first official time. And we each live with our partners. How has that been going for you, Wanda?
It's been great. Um, been looking forward to this for a while. I mean, we kind of did a trial run already during the pandemic in 2020 where we were literally locked in our homes and couldn't do anything else or see anyone else. So this in comparison has been great. Um, there's only really one thing that I super struggle with, and it's getting Jordan to the gym. Because when I don't see it, I'm like, okay, like less whatever. But then it's like when I'm now seeing it in real time, like you're not going to the gym enough. I'm like, you need to go to the gym more. Not in the way of like, oh, you're fat, like you need to go to the gym kind of thing. It's more of just for like he doesn't have the motivation always to like go by himself because like sometimes I go in the mornings before work and he can't do that. So when I don't go with him at night, it's like he doesn't go by himself. And like I'm sick this week, so then he's also quote unquote sick. I like he says like he caught a mild cold, like he probably caught the same thing I did, but it just hit him like a lot less. And he's still kind of recovering from COVID as well. But I'm still like, if you were thinking about going into the office, you can go to the gym then. And then he's like, you're right, I won't go into the office. But I actually asked him last night, I was like, if we had met on Love is Blind, what would be the thing that would take the longest for you to get used to about me? And he was like, how militant you are about going to the gym a certain amount of times a week. You're like, okay, I have to go 4 days and like, or like 5 days or whatever. And it's just like, you have to do it that many days.
That's actually very impressive that you commit to that. Because I'm on the same boat with Jordan. I feel like ever since I moved in, I go less and less. Sorry, not moved in with Jordan. I moved in with Nick.
Oh, hello. Like,
I'm here.
Yeah. But like overall, nothing to really complain about. Again, trial run before. So everything was really like the kinks have kind of been worked out already. What about you?
Yeah, everything has been really good. I think like the first month, I think, was like the hardest obstacle because we were like trying to figure things out, like our getting ourselves oriented, figuring out a routine. And I think like we were kind of stressed. I got real passive aggressive, like you know how Zenib is on the show, where like you could do this, or like have you considered doing this? So I've been like kind of passive aggressive. He called me out on it, so that was nice. Um, he did have a problem, but I can't remember what it was. It'll come back to me. But yeah, I think the first month was like our biggest hurdle. But other than that, like everything has been like pretty smooth sailing. Um, like I said, my obstacle is I don't go to the gym enough. I feel like I've gotten somehow lazier since moving in the fact that like before I would go to the gym on my lunch, or like I'd be diligent to go to the gym on my own, or like I would try to look for something to do in my off time. But now I live with Nick and I'm like, it'd be cool if we could watch this show together. Or like, let's go try out this place today. So a lot of it is tying myself to him, which is not bad, but I think I need to do better at figuring out how to spend time with him, but also keeping myself independent and keeping my routines, going to the gym and doing that other passion project I want.
So I'm confused. If you want to do things like watch something, doesn't like going to the gym at lunch doesn't super interfere with that though?
It doesn't. I'm just lazy.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, now is the time for me to make a lunch, and I'm going to eat lunch with Nick.
Okay.
But he's also like, I can wait later to eat lunch because he eats breakfast around 10. So for him, eating lunch at 12 is like, okay, this is a lot of food. But for me, it's like 12 is like my first meal of the day. So I'm like, let's eat.
Okay. I understand. I think I like have a little bit of that too, where it's like I feel like I'm tying myself to Jordan, where it's like a lot of things like we have to do together. So I'm trying to like by going to the gym on my own time, I'm trying to like untie it a little bit such that like I have the freedom to do the things that like I can do when I have the time to do them, and then he'll have the freedom to do what he has to do. But I mean, he works a lot, so
yeah, it is tough, especially on like the days we both have like a lot of meetings or we both like feel very burnt out. Then we kind of enable each other to not go to the gym.
Yeah, the days where that sucks. That's one of the things with like two working, like having what are they called? Dinks, like dual income, no kids. When it's
Dings.
when it's like you both are super busy one day and then you look at your house and you're like, this is a mess. And
Mm.
no one wants to clean it and no
Mm-hmm.
one wants to cook. And you're like, guess we're eating out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Us yesterday.
Oh, I definitely have had those days where it's just like, I don't want to do anything now. I just want to die on the couch
Yeah.
and not have to think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I think reality television is so great because it's just mindless television. You don't have to think. You just get to enjoy other people's drama while you
So
unwind.
I was talking to my manager about like two shows, like Silicon Valley and Mythic Quest. And Mythic Quest is like about like they're like a video game company. And she's like, "Yeah, I couldn't finish Silicon Valley because it got too real." And I was like, "You know what? That's fair. Like sometimes you just like can't have too much realism in the things
Mm-hmm.
that you watch because then you're like not really shutting off from the real world, right?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
Um, how do you guys like support, I mean, split chores and division of work in your place?
Jordan always says it's what Wanda doesn't want to do. It's the things that he has to do. But like I feel like I do like a fair amount of chores anyways, because it's like I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know how you would normally split. How do you guys split it?
Um, it's like we don't really split it. Like I used to think I did like a bit more than Nick, but it was only because we were like we moved in and like I want things like I don't trust something if it's like I didn't do it, like because it was like other people lived here. So I was like I gotta clean like everything. So I was pretty like anal about cleanliness. But now that we've like been here for a while, now it's like I've lessened up and Nick will do more. So now like some weeks Nick will do more of the chores, some weeks like I'll do more of the chores. Um but he does have a preference and I have a preference. So we try to do that. Like his preference is he doesn't want to do the dishes because it hurts his elbows and wrists. Um yeah, I can't explain that one. He is very bad. It's the thing. It's like when your hands get like cold really easily.
This man needs physical therapy.
Yeah, maybe. Bad circulation, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he has a preference to not wash dishes, and I'm perfectly okay washing dishes. I have a preference to not clean the bathrooms, so he does that.
We have the same preference, and this is why we
Nice.
can't live together.
Oh no. I mean, I don't mind cleaning the bathrooms, but I would prefer it like not to. Like if I got to choose, then I won't clean the bathrooms.
I'm just saying TMI, Jordan uses the bathroom more than I do.
So does
So,
Nick.
so I think it's only fair that he cleans it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Considering there's like a joke that Zach made on the Try Guys Try Stand Up Comedy where Zach is like, my poops are weird. Like, I only found out my poops were weird when I talked to Keith, where he goes 5 times a day and I go once every 5 days. And somewhere between one of us, we're both wrong somewhere. And I'm like,
5 times a day is so many.
that's a lot. I mean, I'm sure Zach is exaggerating because 5 is a lot, but maybe it's more like 2 or 3.
Jesus Christ, that like eat the menu really catches up with him.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that joke really resonated with me.
Yeah. Um that's kind of the same way, I guess. It's like we, I guess, take into my preferences, and Jordan doesn't really have any preferences. So, it's mostly like if I cook, he cleans the dishes. If he cooks, then I clean the dishes. If we both cook, we kind of tackle the dishes together. But we do have a saying of like, please cook while you clean, or please clean while you cook, because you're not always like cooking like it,
Mm-hmm.
like there are times where there's walls where you're just waiting for things to happen, so like you can like do a dish here and there, and then that makes the other person's life a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. I know you guys also don't use a dishwasher. Um,
Oh yeah, we tried.
oh, how was it?
It did the pots and pan. Okay, so we told Prabby that we finally use our dishwasher, but our pans didn't come out as clean as we wanted them, and he was like, oh, "You're not supposed to use pans in the dishwasher," and we're like, what the fuck are we supposed to put in there then? He's like, just plates. And I'm like, we have like 3 plates. You want us to run a dishwashing load with 3 plates in there? Like, the issue is with like pans and stuff. Like, that's the stuff that's harder to clean. And it's like, I can't put pans in there? You want me to wash 3 dishes? Sorry.
Why do you guys only have 3 plates?
Like, because we you don't cook with plates, you eat with plates. So then like usually you like the 2 of us just each have like a plate of food. We don't like have like like it's not like a buffet style where we just put everything onto plates and then choose what we want. We just put 2 plates.
I understand. We need a lot of plates though.
Well, HelloFreshes are 1 dish meal. That is so insane. Funny.
Why do you guys only have 3 plates? For some reason, I thought you bought the same like dishes we got from IKEA.
Yeah,
that comes with like 10 plates.
No, we just bought them individually.
Oh, why? It was a better deal to get the set.
Oh, we had dishes already. We have like 4 dishes, like 4 plates and bowls already. So it was like we didn't need them. We just kind of wanted extras just in case.
How are me and Nick supposed to come over for a dinner party now? My mom.
We have 4 plates. You think 4 plates is not enough?
This is so funny. But I know it's like a big Asian thing to like not use the dishwasher, so I don't blame you. And if you don't really have that many dishes, then I don't see how the dishwasher could help you.
So, okay, so you're telling me that you wash your plates in the dishwasher and then you wash your pans and like other stuff separately?
Yes, because the dishwasher will ruin your pots and pans. And don't put like your like cutting knives in there. Like butter knives are okay, but don't put like the big sharp knives in there, because that will ruin them too. And the plastic might burn off, because this has happened before to me.
So we really fucked up our first use of the dishwasher. Well, nothing happened.
That's good.
Everything turned out okay. It was just things were not as clean as I would have liked them to be. And I am never using the dishwasher again because it serves no purpose for me.
In your situation, I can understand that, but we go through like quite a bit of dishes. And we have a lot of dishes, so I think it's okay. But also, yeah, don't put your pots and pans there.
Now you know.
Prabby did give us another tip, like you're not supposed to rinse your plates and stuff before you put them in the dishwasher. We tried that too. Our plates were filthy. And we usually let like the dog lick them too before we put them in the dishwasher, because like cleans it up. We don't have to rinse it. So Jackie licks them. Jackie, our dog, licks the dishes, put them in the dishwasher, and it came out disgusting. And then I had to hand wash everything. So either way, I recommend rinsing it a little bit.
I recommend not using your dishwasher no matter how much water you save. Also, not to roast Prabby, but he did tell us that sometimes he sleeps in the shower with the shower on, and he was yelling at us about water usage. So to each their own, I guess.
He only does that when he's really hungover, to be fair.
Yeah, but also that he says he does it. He says he does it at least like once a month. He doesn't not do it. I'm just saying it's kind of a waste of water if you fall asleep in the shower. It's wasting more water than I am washing my dishes. Anyways, but if you do use your dishwasher, keep those tips in mind.
Yeah. Personally, when I am like at home with my family, I do not use the dishwasher because we don't have a lot of dishes, and like we each eat at like separate times. So I'm just gonna wash my dishes.
Yeah. Our dishwasher is a drying rack for all our dishes, and I'm not emptying that shit out to use the dishwasher. I think my mom would yell too. So.
It's so interesting. Like I always hear that Asians don't use their dishwasher, and then like when I hear other people say they don't use it, I'm like, yeah. I like that it reaffirms.
Yeah, it reaffirms the stereotype.
It's funny.
But yeah, so chores wise, like I feel like as long as you're each doing what you think is 50%, like if you each think that you're doing less than the other person, that's also good too.
My whole thing too is like when Nick starts taking the initiative to clean stuff, that's when I know like, oh my god, it is filthy around here.
Oh no.
Not that like he doesn't take the initiative, which is great, but in my head when he's like, I'm gonna start doing laundry now because usually I do the laundry. I'm like, oh my god, wow, I really let it pile up this week.
Um, yeah, Jordan does the laundry because our laundry machine is very finicky,
Mm.
and I am still waiting for him to fold some laundry so the laundry basket becomes free.
Ooh, that's my Achilles heel too. I will gladly do the laundry, but folding laundry takes me forever for some reason.
Yeah, I also hate folding laundry. Sometimes when I'm at home, sometimes I just leave my laundry in the dryer for a while, and my mom's like, "Did you get the laundry out yet?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, well, I'll do it." And then she's like, "Did you get the laundry out?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And then if she asks me enough times, eventually I will do it.
So nagging.
Yeah, like it truly is, but I need it. Like I tell
Mm,
her like this is fine. Like I'm okay with you nagging this area
mm,
because if you don't and it goes off, I'm never going to remember I had laundry in there until I'm like, I wonder where this is."
mm. Yeah, I guess I do need that too because sometimes I'll just genuinely forget. Like I think I've left something in the dryer now for the past 4 days. We both
Yeah.
just forgot. We both haven't
Yeah.
done laundry for the past 4 days. I'm also very meticulous about changing our towels and sheets every week. I change our sheets. I haven't done laundry, so that has piled up.
Yeah, we just put a load with, or Jordan just put on a load with our sheets in our
Mm.
pillowcases. Um, he is much better at washing those at like a timely manner than I am because sometimes I go a very long time without washing them. And because I'm like, oh, I'm clean when I come into bed anyways. I'm like Nick from New Girl, where he's like, I don't know why I have to wash a towel. I'm clean every time I use it.
So my boyfriend Nick has he only like I brought up like I think last week or something that I'm like yeah like every time I come back home here I change our sheets and I change our towels and Nick was like what you change those towels too and I'm like yeah I change all the towels in our place and he was literally surprised that I did that and I was like my work is going unnoticed how do you not notice you have a fresh new towel when you come home he was like I just don't know.
Is it not like a different color?
It is a different color. Everything's a different color.
This man is just blind.
Yeah.
But I think you should be acknowledged for the things that you do. Even if it's like your chore, like I always think like it's always nice to be like thank you for doing this.
Mhm.
And I always appreciate saying like thank you.
I like to
Having
do the same. I think
yeah.
he tries to do the same too, just the towels and stuff. Because to be fair, I guess I come home before him sometimes, so he doesn't see me doing it.
But still, it's like a whole different color.
Won't notice.
This is truly why men won't notice if you are like wearing something new or if you've gotten a haircut.
Mm-mm.
This is literally that.
Will not notice.
Yeah.
Um, anything that has bothered you? Wait, okay. What are the pros of moving out with your partner, and what are the cons?
The cons is that the gym by me gets too busy at night. And it's a lot smaller than the gym I have back home. Um I don't have any cons with moving into my partner. I do have cons living where I like living in a place that's not very like drivable. So, I like my second con is I hate that I have to carry like groceries home by hand because we don't have a car. But like if we were in a city, then it's like whatever. But I don't think I have. Actually, I think it's like moving has made me a better person because I clean more. Um, because I want to demonstrate what I want. So it's like, oh, like if I do this, and it's like signaling to like Jordan that he should do this as well. So I have to be like the role model in this situation.
That's funny.
Um, I like how I get HelloFreshes and I don't have to think about cooking. Before I only got them sometimes. So this is nice that I have it always. So I never really have to think about that. It's nice having two people pay for things instead of just one person. Nice to have someone to go on walks with and go pick up all the too good to goes I order. Um, and someone who enables me to get more too good to goes, I guess. Um, I guess like con, sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to like go pick up a new light bulb or something. But then Jordan's like, oh, I don't really want to go. And then so we don't really end up doing it. But it's like if it was just me, I might have had the motivation just to go out. That's it. What about you?
Very similar. Pros, I I guess I mentioned it before. I clean a lot less, like compared to when I lived with my family, than I do in my condo, just because we have a smaller space. And it is very annoying picking up after, I guess, my brother. But like my boyfriend has like a brain, so like it's nice. And he has like common sense to like do stuff too. Like I remember I moved like the first week I moved out, and then I mentioned to my mom, and I was like, Nick literally just vacuumed without me saying anything. Like, and I was just genuinely so shocked. And my mom was like, yeah, that's how like guys should be. And I was like, what? Like, why didn't you say that to like Hugh or Nikki? Like, what? You say this is how guys are. How come your sons aren't like that? So that was like very nice. Another pro is that I feel like it's really nice having like a partner, like a little buddy with you, like all the time. I don't feel like I'm in danger all the time. Not that I feel like if I had moved out by myself, I would feel like definitely scared all the time. But it's like I get to live with like one of my best friends. And I feel like we've gotten closer. Like now we know each other's like whole life. It's like, that's pretty cool. Uh what's another pro? Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. Cons, I guess the whole my independence being so tied to him is like that's like a me thing, I guess, like to work on. But I guess I'm like so dependent on him now, which like can't believe it. We let ourselves be dependent on a man. Disgusting. Um what else is a con?
What
Yeah.
about the fact that he doesn't let you get all the food that you want?
Yeah, he doesn't enable me, which I guess is good. But I'm like, ooh, we should go out for a fun treat. And he's like, we just went out yesterday. I'm like, okay, well, we live in a pretty good location for food. But I guess that's a pro slash con that he won't let us get treats. We've like balanced each other out because I spend a lot of money and he doesn't spend too much money, so
Is that really a balance out?
he's like balanced me to be more thoughtful about how much money I spend. I
That's good.
just I just throw money on the wound, you know. That's how I show my
Heal,
love.
heal, heal.
Yeah. um hmm. Yeah, no. Nothing else I can think of. I think it's really important that if these cons come up, you address them with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out a way to have open communication with them.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest part. Like the biggest thing if you do want to move in together, it's like do not let things like fester and boil. Like
Mm-hmm.
try to address them as quickly as possible because it's like as soon as they start festering, they'll like blow up into bigger things. And again, you live with each other. Like you only have so much space
Mm-hmm.
to wander. And sometimes leaving is not an option. So
It does make me wonder also how like a couple could be living in a condo and how one of them cheats. It's like you have like very little space. Like if he's texting, like I can probably see it from the kitchen. So like it's
yeah.
very impressive and scary how someone could possibly cheat.
Yeah. Like right now, like his phone is right here beside me just charging. Like if you got like a message from like a random person, I'd be like, who is
Who
it?
is?
Like what is this? And like my face is in his phone. I know his password and
Mm-hmm,
everything. And like
mm-hmm.
not that I'm like actively like creeping, but it's just that like it's easier this way because like if he's driving and he needs something or whatever, or so it's like I don't know how. And every time when he's like like texting on his phone and it's not me, and I'm like, oh, what are you messaging?
Yeah, me
Just like
too.
nervousness, really, not
Yeah.
because I'm like suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Same with
That
like
is
even going out. Like we always go out together, and if we don't, we're like, "Oh, this is what we're doing today," and then like we tell them what happened afterwards. So
yeah.
like, if you can sneak off by yourself and then be really sus about who you're going to see, hmm. impressive, but also like,
Yeah, how? This really makes you think. It's like, how do people cheat when they live so close together?
Yeah, you have very little space.
Yeah, you really do.
Hmm.
Huh. Oh, masterminds. True
Hmm.
masterminds.
Hmm. True sociopaths.
Yeah. Even now, I'm like, so like Prabby wants to go to Loud Luxury, but Jordan's on call on that week, and he's like, you can go without me, but I'm like, I don't really know if I want to go without you. Um, so that's kind of what I'm battling with right now.
Sad. This will be my boyfriend's first clubbing experience, and I'm like, well,
Really?
mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe that will entice Jordan to go. We'll see.
Yeah, I told Nick he just has to get really drunk because Nick is like, I don't dance. I don't really like go to these kinds of things. I've never been in. So it's funny because his ex girlfriend used to go clubbing all the time, and she would
And he
never
never
take
went.
him.
Oh my
He
gosh.
just never invited him, and he'd be like, "Hey, can I come?" And she'd be like, "You weren't invited." And
And that wasn't a red flag?
nope, not for my sweet Nick. He was like, "Yeah,
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
you deserve your own time. It's okay. We don't have to do everything together." So
Um,
yeah.
maybe we'll go beforehand or something. Go somewhere else. So that way, like, his first experience is not with Prabby and all of his friends.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to look into that.
Yes. Okay. Um, why do you think you and Nick live so well together?
Hmm. I think we're both people pleasers. I think that's just what it really comes down to.
That's not good.
I mean, we both like love each other very much, and we want to make the other one happy. So in that sense, we are people pleasers.
I guess that's a little bit better, I guess.
um, I think like Nick is very easygoing. Out of the two of us, I think I'm more like I have preferences. I want things done a certain way, and Nick is just like very easygoing. So I think that's been very nice.
Yeah. I think me and Jordan have the same dynamic where it's like I'm more anal about things, but he's a lot more easygoing. Um, so it kind of makes sense. We also have very similar tastes in like kind of what we want in a home type of stuff. So it's like very easy to choose out like furniture or like designs or whatever because we're like, okay, we both like very similar things, which is good. Um, and I think it's just like we've known each other for so long, so it's like we don't really care if we just say things to each other that are potentially not the nicest things. So Jordan has developed this new thing where he likes to blame me for everything that happens,
Oh my.
which sounds abusive, and it is. No I'm kidding, but it's just like whenever it's just like something falls or something, and he did it, and he'd be like, "Wanda, how could you like? Why would you do this? Why would you make it fall right in front of me?"
Oh my.
I'm like, so that's the relationship that we have now.
I like it's like Jordan just developed this quirk. It's just a phase he's going through. He'll get over it
Yep.
soon.
Yep. He'll get over it soon. Today Maggie, like I asked him how he flirts because Maggie was asking me about flirting and he was like, "Yeah, I just blame you for for the things that I did and that's how I flirt." And I was like,
Wow, he really loves to flirt.
yeah, truly." He's like flirting all the time, you know. That's how we maintain such healthy dynamics living together.
Yeah.
Just super super great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, how do you like? Do you think there will ever be a danger of losing the spark? Like just be like having a roommate or like having a friend in your place. Is that what
Oh,
you're afraid of sometimes?
not like I'm not afraid of necessarily, but I can see it like happening now that you've mentioned it, just because it's like sometimes if like the both of us like are super busy, especially if Jordan's super busy, then he kind of like is less like more stressed out. And when he's more stressed, he's less like of like a loving and caring partner. And it's just like, oh, we're just kind of like roommates in a way. But as long as he recognizes that, I think then it becomes okay. And if he becomes less stressed. So like taking time off or taking time for himself or moving around meetings and things like that. So really it's just like it's just on him.
But you're perfect.
Yeah, I'm perfect. I'm okay. So my thing is that I'm like needy. So it's like
Mm.
I always want like attention, and I always want to like be like tied at the hip.
Mm-hmm.
So it's um like I don't see myself having that problem necessarily, unless it's like the only time I can see that problem is that I've completely lost interest in him whatsoever. And then I'd be like, okay, separate ways.
Mm.
We're roommates now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like kind of the only thing. What
Mm-hmm.
about you?
Um, yeah, kind of what you said too. I can see it happening, and uh I think you have to like actively try to like make time for each other and
Hmm.
listen to what the other person says. Because yeah, Nick also gets like very tied up with work a lot. And if he's stressed out, he just will not hear anything I'm saying because he'll be too busy thinking about work. So yeah, it's important to make time for each other. Having like you don't even have to go out, but I think it's just like making date nights fun. Maybe setting aside a date night, but then like when we do have like a date night, our date nights are like going out to eat somewhere because we try to do that once a week. But then if we get like takeout or something, then it's still like not the same, but it's like it's still nice that we chose something together.
Yeah. So Jordan's coworker said this like did this like really interesting thing. And sorry if you're listening to this podcast, but I'm making some hand gestures right now. Okay, so there's like time when you're like this, and this is like fully together time. Like you are invested in each other, you are fully like into each other, talking to each other. All your attention is basically on each other. There's this time where you're both kind of like in like you're doing your own thing, but like you're close by to each other, and you might like chat here and there. And then there's like this time, which is like, oh, you're both like fully separate, doing like whatever you're doing. Like this is like working throughout the day and everything, and you're not really interacting at all. So it's like there's like different modes, and like a lot of people end up in this mode where it's just like you kind of like you're casually with each other, but you're not fully like with each other, but you need more this time when you're like 100% of like not 100, but like close enough where your attention is on each other. And a lot of people confuse this with like this time. And it's like
Hmm.
sometimes this time is just not enough.
Hmm. So what do you do to get back into this time, like the whole focus on each other time?
It's just like I guess like making intentional steps to spend active time with each other. So like
Hmm.
when you're together, like don't be on your phones like here and there, like just talking to talking to other people, or like just making the specific time to ensure that you have enough of this time, and having that
Hmm.
conversation of, do you think we're having enough time to like actively together, or is a lot of our time like passively together?
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Good points.
Yeah. Sometimes I just like make these hand motions now to Jordan and be like, I want more this time.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a really insightful hand gestures from Jordan's coworker, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
credit him to that.
Hmm. Sorry if you're blind and you cannot see our podcast.
Oh, yeah. Also, sorry if you're listening to the podcast.
Oh yeah, that too. Guess you don't have to be blind.
Yeah, that's what podcasts are for.
Mhm.
But it's about, so this is intentional time, this is passive time, and this is just time apart.
Mhm.
Those are the three.
I respect that.
Any final thoughts?
Be a cool roommate.
But also be a cool partner,
Mm-hmm.
and don't let that spark die.
Yep.
Don't be passive aggressive.
Yes. Have open communication.
Yes, truly. Okay. Thanks for listening to another episode. Go like us and follow us on social media, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And go listen to us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And join us next Thursday for another episode of Apologetically Me. Bye.
Bye.